Well, hello and welcome back. So, if you remember last time, I was looking for a place to do a bit of woodwork, and as you can see, I've found it. So, while there are a few dog walkers coming past occasionally, it's pretty desolate, this spot, especially on a pretty miserable day like this. So, after much procrastinating in the morning, I finally started cutting up the pieces of wood. Well, I'm halfway there. Still some, as you can see, exterior trim to do, but I have locks on both windows and another lock, and there's always been a lock on that door. So I should be safe to head into the Air Bunny's big city. Right, I've moored up because I believe that building over there, which is the old Wolverton Railway Works, has a big Tesco in, and it's too good an opportunity to miss some shopping next to the canal. Well, another retail stop, this time at Bletchley, and I've come to everybody's favourite blue and yellow store for a few homey things. Well, I almost stuck to my list. Morning. Well, as I have often done in the past, I'm sort of bouncing around between different projects because I don't really want to do any of them. But as you can see, I've gone back to the window trim. And the two reasons for this: one, as you can see, it's for once it's a nice, sunny, cold but sunny day, so I can sit outside and do a bit of bit of sanding, initial sanding on these window trims. And the other thing is, while the actual main mister trim there's so much of it, it's actually all nicely, it's long and thin, so it's easy to stash away, whereas these things I keep tripping over. So the sooner I can get these installed, the better. So I'm leaving my baby on its own for the first time overnight. I've got to pop back into London for well, overnight. And just like anybody's baby, I'm a little anxious. I'm sure it'll be okay. However, it is absolutely going to be dreadfully below freezing tonight, so hopefully everything stays unfrozen. There's a bit of a residual heat in the stove, and the generator's been on, so the water tank is also hot. So fingers crossed that is enough to keep everything from freezing up. Time will tell. Well, the bow moorings come out, which I doubly checked before I left, so not much more I could have done. However, happily the breeze is against the bank, so the boat is not not going anywhere, it's not floating around in the middle of the canal, thank goodness. Morning. Well, I'm on the move again after 5 nights south of Leighton Buzzard. I'm on the move actually earlier than planned. I was intending to go after lunch, but about half an hour ago a wide beam came past, and my goodness, it was such a thump as I got whacked against the bank. Anyway, about 10 minutes later I looked out the window and saw that I was on the other side of the canal. My moorings had been completely ripped out, so I had to get up and get the boat underway to get back to the bank, and I thought, well, why not just get going? Because I'm not going very far today. It's about a mile and a lock, and I'm just going down to Grove Lock, which is just past Leighton Buzzard. And there, at the Grove Lock Marina, are my first neighbours from Debdale, Narrow Rope Veloci. So I'm intending to moor up there for a couple of nights and finally catch up with them, which I'm looking forward to very much. It's pretty chilly here today, and you can only just about see it, but the canal is starting to freeze up over the surface. Happily, I'm not going any further because this is Grove Lock, where my friends are. Well, morning, and what a lovely morning it is. Bit cold, but as you can see, blue skies. For forecast for a few hours away, which is why I just need to, I do need, but why I'm getting a bit of a move on. So I've been in Grove Lock now for a week, and it's been really nice having my friends there. And also the reason I've stayed also so long is I had another friend coming from London to visit for the day, and Leighton Buzzard had a rail station. So all in all, it was just practical. But I need to get to Aylesbury, so within the next week. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And to be honest, it's not very far. It's about 12 miles distance, but there is an absolute stack of locks to get through. So that is going to take me all the time. So I think that it's going to be actually more about sort of 3 days worth. But hey, I've got a week, as I said, and the weather is up and down. It's miserable again after today, so I'll try and optimise the weather, as it were, because obviously I'd rather be boating in day like this rather than pouring rain. Oh yeah, and I've basically done sod all on boat progress. Well, I have done a teeny bit, but not really to even be acknowledged. Just other things going on, and it's been so cold that I've got all stuff needs sanding outside, and it's just been, when it's minus or 0 outside, I just don't want to be standing there with a literally freezing cold sanding away, so I haven't. Well, I kind of lost count of the locks, and I don't know how much of today I've got on time lapse, but the sun has gone, and it's time to find a mooring. And one of the things, I just passed one sort of back there, but yeah. So some of I tried when I moored up for lunch. Actually, some of the banks is really quite shallow, and I sort of grounded on a bit of gravel. So hopefully some anchor piling will appear, and that would be very nice. Morning. Early start today because yesterday I couldn't move, it was just far too windy, and in a couple of hours there's a very heavy rain forecast, so I want to try and get through some locks. So one of the reasons I want to try and get where I'm going while it's not peeing down with rain is, I'm not sure you can spot it there in the distance, but that's my first slope. Alas, I walked past it yesterday, and I already know that's you have to operate it from the offside, as in the non-towpath side, and the landing either side is about this big, and much to my disappointment, the wind is blowing the wrong way, so it's going to blow me off. I had enough problem just getting out of that lock. Actually, it was sending me straight into the bank at low speed, so I'm sure I'm going to make quite a dog's breakfast of this. Bloody hell! What you haven't seen on video is the farce of me trying to get away from here. Sod's bloody law. As soon as that couple had come through, talk about bad timing for me. Should have arrived 5 minutes later. The wind's changed, and then my bow was just being blown into. See this? This is a giant bramble clump, and that's exactly where the bow was. So when I had to try and push off with the pole, I just got a face and handful of brambles as well. Anyway, I'm clear now. Right, a rubbish stop and 2 more locks, and that will be it for the day. Whew. As these are basically a flight and there's nobody else around, it dawned on me I've just emptied that lock, because it's well within walking distance, while this one is filling up. But in this breeze, if I manage to get through that single lock door, I will be very, very surprised. And I'm going to have to be a nifty manoeuvring for me to get off. And I'm having to go faster than I would like, because if I don't, I'm getting blown into the starboard side bank. Yeah, that's gonna whack into the other one, I think. Oh, no. Bloody hell. Might just do that. Now, but I've got to get stop backing, jump off. However, my joy was very short-lived when I realised that rather than down the last lock, I've left my windlass on the boat. Ugh. And I think I'm going to go off in the bow. Well, I'm awarding myself null point for technique on that one. Not only was the cock up with the windlass, but every time the lock was almost full, I had to close the offside ground paddle, and I wondered why I just couldn't get the bloody gate open. After doing that 4 times, I went back and checked and found out that one of the bottom paddles wasn't quite closed, and it was letting the water out. So of course, as soon as I closed one of the paddles, the lock very slightly started emptying, and hence back and forth. And the wind has really set down. I've just been jammed in the corner of the lock exit there. Anyway, and the rain's here, as you can see, but I've escaped most of it. And while there was a bit of me thinking I'll just moor up, actually I'm not. Hopefully, assuming I can find somewhere to moor, I'm not that far from my destination for today, so I think I'll just crack on and moor up one time. Well, hello there, and this is Stephen from the future. So I was expecting just to make one video, but putting it together, so much is going to happen. Let's not over-egg it, but I ended up with a lot more footage than I expected, and therefore it was a bit too long for one video, so I'll split it in 2. So thanks for watching, and tune in next week for more exciting adventures.